One Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich by Alexander Solzhenitsyn. Translated by H.T. Willets. This is a book that I read because I have a habit of reading books when I hear them mentioned over and over. When I hear a bunch of smart people, friends, public intellectuals, whatever, artists, people talking about a book, I just buy it and I read it if it seems interesting. Like, I noticed I used to hear about books and, oh, I should get that, and I would never actually do it. So I just started doing it. This one comes up a lot. I've been a big fan of Sam Harris for a long time. I've watched the debates that he did with Jordan Peterson and some other of Jordan Peterson's content. This is a no politics zone. We're going to steer clear of any of that. But he is a very smart, if a bit crazy, guy, and he always talks about this book, Jordan Peterson does. So I decided, hey, why not, And I'm really glad I did, because it reminds me a lot of another book, one of the most important books that I've read and that a lot of people have read. Let me grab it. Man's Search for Meaning, very famous book, written by Viktor E. Frankl. And I'll admit I forgot the name for a second. But yeah, this is one of the most famous books ever, practically, at least. Well, that's a weird thing to say, but it's a very famous book written by a man who went through the concentration camps in the Holocaust, a Jewish man who was put in the Holocaust concentration camps. His wife was killed. This most brutal, saddest possible thing, and it's just a book about, like, survival. Yeah, there they are. Shout out. Beautiful couple, by the way. Rest in peace. This was obviously a long time ago now, but yeah, the whole story is first-person perspective of him being in those camps and how he survived, what gives life meaning, what is the point of life, through the lens of a person who went through the Holocaust thing. And this book I found very, very similar. This one is in the Soviet concentration camps during the time of Stalin. At least I'm pretty sure that's what's up. My knowledge on Russian history in this time is not very robust, but the book is beautiful. It's beautiful for a couple of reasons. For one thing, the translation is just awesome. Apparently, the original Russian that the book is written in, like, it's very slang heavy. It's got a lot of weird word usage, so it's very hard to translate. And I can really tell how this author did it. Like, just reading a quick sentence. When a gang feels the pinch, as Gang 104, the narrator's gang, did now, there's never any slacking. They jump to it willy-nilly. If they didn't warm the place up in the next 2 hours, they'd be all done for, every last man. Or what's another example? Bloody nuisance, these short working days, he called out jokingly. Like, that's some crazy words if you're thinking about it being a translation. Like, what Russian phrase translates to bloody nuisance, these short working days? You know what I mean? Like, how does that end up happening? So very poetic, very beautiful translation. And I found this book to be very interesting just in terms of it gives me good context for my life. I love reading books like this because it's about something really sad and really terrible that really happened. I don't like that it happened, but because it happened, learning about it and really immersing myself in a first-person account. This is a fictional book, by the way, written by an author. I think it was written to showcase the problems. This one was a non-fiction account. This one's a fictionalized version of what was really happening at that time. And yeah, I just find it so helpful when I'm getting stressed out about my life. Like, oh, this job's tricky or stressful, or oh, like, I wish I had more views and it's taking a long time for my music to pop off, or oh, I'm not making enough money, or oh, like, dating people is hard, or blah, 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 like, whatever the thing is, right? Family stress and this and that. I just find books like this, for me, it's like, okay, well, compared to this, like, towards the end of the book, it's not really a spoiler. There's nothing to spoil, really. He's just, like, very happy to be eating his food, and he's, like, enjoying some bread and a cigarette, and there's, like, very scary, he's had to, like, go through all day and, like, barter and, like, work in the freezing cold and, like, run off and sneak around and risk getting in trouble just to have a single cigarette and to have a little bit of food. And he's just so happy eating it. And he's like, the author describes the smoke going from, or the feeling of the cigarette going from, the top of his head all the way down to his toes, and the bread just warming his stomach. And, it's just like warming his stomach, is what I said there. And it's just like, yeah, it's just like, compared to that, I could buy myself a breakfast sandwich if I really wanted to. Like, in this book, he eats maybe, like, 2 ounce, like 2 little tiny bites of meat. You know what I mean? That's like the most calories other than bread he's gotten in, weeks, right? And I can go have whatever meal that I want. I mean, even with just a couple bucks of quarters, I can go get some eggs and a bagel, or I can eat the food in my fridge. And, like, normally that's like, oh man, I can't even, like, I can barely afford a cup of coffee, is how I would normally think about that. But when I read this, it's like, oh, if I have $5, I can buy days worth of this guy would hustle for days in the camp just to get, like, half a bagel that would be like old and stale, you know what I mean? And I can just go buy one. So it gave me a lot of context, and I found it really good for that reason. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to mention it. So definitely enjoyed this book. I highly recommend it. If you've read it, I guess let me know in the comments what you think or what your thoughts are. And yeah, I definitely think that One Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich, good book, recommended. Give it a shot if you enjoyed Man's Search for Meaning, or if you're just looking for some historical books that can give you perspective on life and make you a little bit of a better person. Hope you enjoyed this little book episode, just one of the little things I'm trying on the channel. I don't know exactly, we got video games, we got books, we got music. Obviously the music is a cornerstone, and the vlogs, because those are just me living my life. But all this other content, let me know what you think. Hit the like button, subscribe, comment, or don't. If you don't like it, then don't do those things. And after the first few months, I'm going to refine the content down. But I'm just having fun. Hope you're having fun too. Hope you enjoy the book. Until next time, thanks for watching. It's Quixotic Flux, and I am Matt Sokol. I forget the catchphrase. The man, the myth, the legend. I don't know. Bye.